thank you for joining us here in the Media Centre this afternoon.
Welcome.
It's great to have you here in France for your first Ryder Cup. Can you just give us a sense of what that's been like for you in the team room and the experience so far?
Yeah, thank you. It's great to be here. Paris is an incredible place. My second time now being here, and I really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed these last few days, being with the team, having dinners at spectacular places here in Paris. The country has so much to offer, and to be here and experience that with my teammates and the captains and my wife, it's been incredible already. So it's been a lot of fun to be a part of this team, and yeah, it's been nothing short of spectacular for me already, and the competition hasn't even started. So the good stuff is yet to come, and I feel like I've already had a great week. So
sounds ideal. We're going to open straight up to questions from the floor. So anyone like to start? Just here, mic 1, just over the gentleman.
Tony, I think a few golfers have got your kind of backstory. When you look back, if you could maybe talk about some of the challenges that you've overcome and just how proud you are to be sitting up there and wearing those colours.
Yeah, I'm extremely proud of where I am, and just having a spot on this team. It's a dream of mine. It's been a dream of mine since I started playing the game at 8 years old. Basically very humble beginnings. My parents sacrificed a lot for me to be in this position. Just golf is an extremely expensive sport, and growing up, it didn't come from a lot, but my parents sacrificed a lot for me to compete, and my goals were their goals, and so my family is a big part of why I'm here, and they've given up a lot. So it's cool to look back and reflect on where I've come from, and now part of this Ryder Cup and this team is pretty special for me and my family. So I'm soaking it all up, and that's the advice I've got from some of the older guys is enjoy it, because it does come to an end. This is my first of hopefully a handful, but this experience is pretty cool for me already, and to reflect back on some of the experiences that I've had, this is pretty special for me.
Just going to go to mic 2, just to David, just in the middle here.
Tony, over here. You're this side. You're one of the bigger hitters out there, Tony.
Yeah.
Is this a course that takes driver out of your hands? Yeah,
it is for the most part. I think I hit 4 to 6 drivers. I'll hit per round this week. Obviously depending on how many holes we play, of course. But if I were to play 18, I'd hit 4 to 6, and on the PGA Tour, I'm probably hitting more like 10 to 12. So in that aspect, it does take driver out of my hands. But it's a golf course that is you have to hit the fairway no matter what club you hit, 3-iron, 4-iron, and it's a great test. So it's going to be great.
Just going to go mic 3 with Doug. Yeah.
Actually, I had 2 questions, Tony. Firstly, of all the things you've done in life, whether it's getting your web card, getting your tour card, Puerto Rico, whatever, what single moment has given you the greatest boost of confidence?
Yeah, well, in my life, marrying my wife, because she's really beautiful. So that gave me a lot of confidence personally. I look at her every morning. I got pretty lucky. But in my golf career, this is up there, making this team. And you look at the guys that are on our team. You look at the guys on the European team. To throw my name in the mix is something that is really cool for me right now. So. Getting through the web.com tour Q school was a big deal for me, because it took me 6 tries. When I finally got through, I knew the opportunities and the window for getting to the PGA Tour and competing at a high level was finally available to me. And those 6 years were tough. Mini tour life isn't a glamorous life. The professional golf life, if you're not on the PGA Tour, is very tough financially. I was married, and my wife and I had, our oldest son already. So those were some tough times. So getting through qualifying school and having established a place to play through qualifying school, that was a huge moment for me as well. But I would say a couple. Those are a couple that I can, that I have a lot of confidence. That have built a lot of confidence in me.
And the other one was your very first memory of Ryder Cup, obviously on TV. Do you remember the first one that really got your attention?
Yeah, it was hard to overlook the '99 Ryder Cup. I started playing golf in the summer of '97, and just a couple years later, it's still one of the coolest moments I think for our American team is to look back and reflect on that win, the comeback, and it being at Medina. It was a special thing for us Americans, but for me, starting and playing and seeing how excited they were, I started to look at the Ryder Cup as a goal of mine to be on that team and to share some of those memories.
Just going at the front here, mic 1, Karen.
Tony, Jim said yesterday that because of your personality, you're someone he can put with anyone. And I was wondering if he's conveyed that to you and what that means to you that he would say that.
Yeah, I think I've getting to know Jim very well this week has been great for me. He's someone that I've enjoyed watching throughout his career and I have a lot of respect for. So it's great to hear him say something like that about me. And I feel like I'm a team player. I grew up playing team sports and I grew up playing a lot of basketball and volleyball. So I know what it's like to be in a team room and to be in a locker room and have teammates and kind of around each other, and I feel like I'm pretty good at that. So yeah, that's great for him to say, and I definitely feel that way. I feel like I'm a pretty good teammate.
And I'm sorry, just one more quick question. What is it like to be a teammate of Tiger's? I'm sure there were a lot of you who wondered if you would ever have that chance.
Yeah, extremely special to be on a team with Tiger and Phil. Those are two guys that two of my golfing idols growing up, and I think pretty much the other 10 guys on the team can say the same thing. This is a special Ryder Cup for us, and I think it's a very special one for them as well. So to be on a team with Tiger and Phil is a dream come true, and this week I think we have that extra motivation to try and win one for them.
Just staying on mic 1.
Okay. Tony, we always hear a lot about growing the game and trying to expand it out to, different groups of people who don't normally have access to it. You obviously would be an example of that. How much just responsibility do you feel to kind of, try to spread, keep kids involved or people involved that don't normally do it, play the game? And can you point to any specific examples that, you run across kids that you see later and oh, they're playing high school golf or something, or whatever?
Yeah, it's been cool. Something I'm really proud of is just seeing a lot of the kids that have been inspired by me just through similar backgrounds, and I definitely think the game can grow in those type of areas, the urban areas in the States, some of the third world countries. I think there's a lot of great athletes all over the world, and some of them don't have the access or the opportunity to play the game of golf, and I definitely didn't growing up. Just meaning we really didn't have the funds for me to play. Now looking back on how expensive this game is, but hopefully just my story inspires other kids and other families to know, if there's a will, there's a way, and this game has a lot to offer. I've been extremely blessed to play this game, and I feel like I'm very early in my career and have already been pretty blessed.
Just mic 3, please, in the middle.
Tony, we've seen you play with Brooks each of the last 3 days of practice, which might not be a combination that a lot of people would have expected entering the week, but is there anything that's drawn the two of you together before this week or before you got to Paris that might lead you to combine forces?
Yeah, I played with Brooks for the first time in the playoffs just a few weeks ago, and we got paired a lot. We were paired together in the first 2 groups for, I think the first 3 playoff events. So we got to know each other pretty well, and so it was just kind of a late thing, more so than anything else. And the way I look at it, who wouldn't want to play with a 2-time major champion this year? So it's we're going to meet as a team and see what the final decision is. It's always up to the captain and to the captains that we have. So we'll see what type of decision that he makes. But that's it's been fun getting to know Brooks, and it's going to be a lot of fun if we end up being teamed up together.
Just going to go mic 4, please, to the left.
2 questions, Tony. Can you talk us through that par 3 tournament instance at the Masters? And have you had the motivational speakers in this week?
Sorry, what was the second question?
Have you had any motivational speakers into the team room this week from outside the team?
Oh, okay. Yeah, so just going back to the Masters, basically it was one of the greatest moments of my life, you know, hitting a hole-in-one and, you know, my first par 3 contest at the Masters and with my family there. It's really cool. You know, obviously I couldn't contain my emotions. I took off running, and it was one of the coolest moments, you know, backed up by one of the most embarrassing moments in my life, you know, having sprained my ankle in front of everybody and having everybody see it and replay it and still talk about it. But I learned a lot from it. You know, I ended up finishing in the top 10 at the Masters still, and so I kind of learned a lot about myself, and you know, I can still compete at a high level. As far as
people in the team room.
yeah, we have some cool celebrities here, I think, cheering us on this week. No motivational speakers. I think you know, we understand the magnitude of the event, and most of us play pretty relaxed. But having other celebrities from the U.S. here to support us is pretty cool. I mean, Michael Jordan, you guys heard of him? It was cool to see him. I think he'll be around this week. There's, you know, some other guy. You guys saw Samuel L. Jackson. He played in the celebrity deal last night or yesterday here. Michael Phelps, you guys have all seen him. So, you know, it's cool to see them in our team room and you just hang out with them. That's really cool.
Mike 2, please, in the middle.
Tony, you mentioned playing team sports. Many people in this part of the world would associate people of Samoan heritage with rugby. Apologies if you've been asked this before, but has that been an involvement at all for you or your family at any point?
Yeah, my dad grew up playing a lot of rugby, and rugby is the biggest sport in all the Polynesian islands. But I didn't play any rugby growing up. I played, you know, basketball and volleyball. But yeah, rugby is a huge sport in the Polynesian islands. You know, that's the main sport there. And my dad grew up playing. My younger brother plays, but you know, not me. I never played rugby. I don't know. I guess I was just so drawn to playing basketball and volleyball. I didn't really, you know, play rugby. Rugby was pretty big in Utah, but I didn't ever play it.
I'm just going to go Mike 1.
Tony, can I check, has your dad come across to cheer you on this week?
Yeah, my dad's here. I think my sister's here. He's not in here, but...
You talked about the sacrifice that he made. This must be a rewarding moment for him.
Yeah, I think this is pretty cool for him, for sure. It's got to be really cool for him. Coming from our golf background, we didn't have a golf background. You know, I don't have a golf background. You know, my dad didn't play, my grandpa didn't play. You know, rugby was kind of their thing, and so this is probably pretty cool for him, no question. I think he's going to enjoy this week.
Okay, we've got time just for a couple more. So just at the front, Mike 1, Karen.
How much, if at all, do you think playing the 16th hole at the Waste Management Phoenix Open will be good preparation for the first hole tomorrow?
Yeah, I think it's great preparation. That's about as close, I think, as it gets to a stadium hole, the number 1 hole here. But you know, this is a whole different deal. It's going to be a lot of fun. That first tee shot is going to be fun. A lot of the grandstands is huge. You know, I made sure I look back and check it out today, and it's gigantic. I've only seen grandstands like that at, you know, NFL stadiums back home in the U.S. So it's pretty cool to be able to hit in front of that many people, and you know, whether you're giving cheers or boos, it's going to be incredible. You know, the atmosphere is electric here.
Okay, we're going to go last question with Doug on mic 4, please.
What's the first time you got a free set of clubs, and was that a big deal to you?
It was a huge deal to me. The first time I got a set of clubs, I was 9, for free. Yeah, from our pro, who, you know, from the par 3 golf course, and it was just an iron set. I think it was only about 5 or 4 iron down to pitching wedge. Magique, I don't know if you guys remember the old golf clubs, Magique. I think they were made by Wilson. But I had a set of those, and I pretty much used those till all the way through high school until you know, some other companies stepped up and helped me out kind of as a junior after I was, you know, starting to have some success. But it was a big deal. Before that, my dad was at the pawn shop, at the garage sales, getting us, wedges and all kinds of clubs. So that was a big. Yeah, I do. And yeah, my dad has it in his garage. Yep, still have the first set. So.
Okay. Thank you very much,
Thank
Tony,
you.
for your time. Have
Thanks.
a good week this week.
Thank you.